Hello everyone, it's Deborah Morgan and welcome back to the Kids Health Revolution Kitchen. This is the headquarters. This is where we are cooking up a change in our kids' health, one simple recipe at a time. And we are back after a little bit of an extended vacation. It's been a little bit hectic around here and I haven't had as much time to be creating my recipes as I'd like, dealing with a few changes going on in our house. So, but I'm back. And we'll be back every week again, every Thursday at 4 o'clock, coming to you with some amazing recipes that only take a few minutes to make, usually, maybe a little bit more, 10 minutes perhaps. Easy stuff, full of real food, real ingredients, and usually just a few simple things that you can find at any health food store. And these are going to be foods that are helping to support our children and support our mission to improve their health, right? So we are laying the foundations for their good health with the food that we are giving them. And I know one of the biggest challenges is often, what do we put in the lunch kit? Like, I don't know what to send them to school for lunch and for snacks and things. And so that's what this series is all about, is giving you lots of easy recipes that you can use. Fill those lunch kits full of yummy things that your kids will love, that only take a few minutes to make, and you know that they are packed full of the good nutrition that supports their gut health, supports their overall health, and helps you on your mission to improve their health from a chronic health condition. So today we are making a coconut bar. It's yummy, it's got a perfect nice little chewiness to it, it's sweet, it's all of the allergens free, so of course gluten-free, dairy-free. We are also grain-free, no processed sugars here, and because here in our household we're undergoing the AIP diet again, the autoimmune paleo approach, and also doing some low histamine to help out my little kiddo with some stuff he's going through at the moment. This particular bar has got none of that in it either. So it's covering all the bases in terms of the special diets that you might be needing to follow at the moment. And low histamine is important when we're talking about any kind of health concern that would involve neurological function, ADHD, autism, PANDAS, anxiety, any of those sorts of things, as well as asthma and eczema. So when it comes to asthma, eczema, allergies, arthritis even, all of these things we know can be exacerbated by histamine in food. And so what happens there is there's a little bit of a what's called histamine intolerance. And basically I think of this like a bucket, right? Histamine is necessary in our bodies. We need it. It's a neurotransmitter. It signals our stomach to start making stomach acid so that we can digest our food when we're eating. We need it for our immune system, for allergic reactions. It's protective. We need to have histamine around. The problem comes in when we have a little bit too much histamine going on in the body. So maybe our body or our child's body is not able to break it down properly. That can happen because of an imbalance in the gut microbes. Or maybe we're just putting too much histamine overload into the body. So the body produces its own, but we might be putting extra histamine into the body in the foods that we're eating or the foods that prevent the breakdown of histamine. So that's where just taking care with what we eat can help. And it's not about eliminating every food in the book that has histamine, because a lot of those foods are very healthy. But it is about just helping the body bring down that load a little bit. And when we do that, sometimes we can help just give it enough of a rest and a reset that it can help with the inflammatory process that we know is underlining most of these chronic health concerns. So today's recipe literally takes about 5 minutes to make, and it's super delicious. It goes in the fridge, it doesn't have to be cooked, and you can send it to school with your kids because it also happens to be nut-free. So if you have a nut-free school and you can't send anything with nuts, this is a great recipe to use. So all we have here is 2 cups, I'm gonna bring this into the camera, 2 cups of shredded coconut or coconut ribbons. And make sure that they are unsweetened and unsulfured. So you want unsweetened, unsulfured coconut ribbons, 2 cups, into your food processor, or it could also go into a nice high-speed blender as well. Nice pinch of good quality sea salt or Himalayan rock salt, so you get the good minerals in there. That helps to pop up the flavor as well. And then we're simply gonna go in, I have 2 tablespoons of coconut oil here and 1 tablespoon of ghee. So if you cannot tolerate ghee or your child can't tolerate ghee, then you can certainly just use the coconut oil. I like the flavor that comes from the ghee, and if you're able to tolerate it, ghee is a wonderful source of butyrate, which is a favorite fuel source of some of the good gut bugs that we want hanging around in our gut. So this is a really good option. So we've got lots of nice healthy fats that are going into this. There's also fat in the coconut and fiber. Coconut's very high in fiber, so we need fiber to help feed our good gut bugs, to help with bowel movements, and we also need both fiber and fat to help balance blood sugar. So when we give our kids a sweet treat, of course kids love sweet treats, right? What kid doesn't? What adult doesn't most of the time? We also want to make sure that we're taking steps to balance the blood sugar, because we know that imbalances, these huge spikes and then dives in blood sugar, are one of the major contributors to inflammation in the body. So we want to make sure we have nice, level, balanced blood sugar throughout the day. So that means none of these super high sugary snacks. And when we do give a snack that has some sweetness, that has some sugar in it, we have fats and we have fiber and maybe we have protein to help balance it out. So you could certainly add some collagen to this recipe to also add some protein and some of those gut healing components at the moment, because as I said, we are doing some low histamine around here. We're not doing the collagen powder. So if you're trying to do low histamine, if there's asthma or allergies or eczema, you might pass on the collagen for now. So let's just give this a little bit of a spin and then we'll add the last ingredient. There's seriously 1, 2, 3 ingredients in this. So just running it so that you get kind of a rough chop on your coconut and you're spreading those nice oils around, mixing in your salt. Now I have about 1/3 of a cup of raw honey here. So we've got all of the natural enzymes that are in raw honey, which are very good for us. We've got minerals in there as well. So raw honey is a great natural sweetener, a way to have some good sweetness in our lives, and we're also getting some good health supporting stuff into our bodies as well, to our kids' bodies. So we're gonna run this. Run it until we get kind of a bit of a dough action happening there. Now to this, if you wanted to, you could add some flavors. You could add a little bit of orange zest to this. You could add in some lemon. I love lemon and coconut. That's a nice flavor. So some lemon zest would be nice. You could put in, scrape out a little bit of a vanilla bean and put that in for some nice flavor. You could certainly add chocolate to this, but again, with us going super low histamine for a little while, we're avoiding that for the moment as well. So no chocolate for right now for us, but it tastes really great just like this. So you don't really have to add anything else. You could also add fruit into this. You could add some blueberries or some raspberries and spin it around in there. Get it chopped up. You could throw in some dried fruit if you wanted to. You could put in some berry powder as well. That would be quite nice and give it kind of a fun, pretty color, as well as some nice antioxidants. So those are all options that you can use. So right now, all I did was transfer this into a parchment-lined pan, and then I'm just gonna spread it out with my fingers. It's a little bit sticky, but not too bad. And you just want to get it fairly evenly spread around. You could certainly double, triple, or even more this recipe and make a whole bunch and keep them in the freezer. Just cut them into bars and freeze them up. Okay, and that is all ready to go into the fridge. So there you have it, all pressed down nicely and it's ready to go into the fridge until it's set. So we just set it in the fridge. It takes about half an hour or 45 minutes for it to set up, and we're just waiting for the oils and the honey to kind of solidify again, and then it's good to go. Now, if you like more of a toasted coconut flavor, you could certainly put this in the oven for a few minutes at like a 325 for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, and maybe toast up your coconut a little bit, but you are then heating your honey, so it won't have quite as many of the nice raw honey properties as you might normally have. So when we're done, we have these beautiful little bars. So this has already been cooled and cut into bars, and they are lovely. They're a great texture when they're out of the fridge, and they will stay at room temperature. They'll stay a fairly nice consistency. They'll be a little bit softer than this, but if you send it to school, you could put a little ice pack with it if you wanted to keep it quite firm like this, or it'll just become a little bit softer. Still tastes really good, still holds together, so it's not a problem in the lunch kit. Now, if you didn't want to make bars, you could also form these into little balls as well. That's an option for you. So you'd need to set it up a little bit. If you wanted to take the time and you think your kids will respond to something that's a funner shape, you could certainly roll these into little balls, and you could roll them in some cacao powder or carob or hemp seeds, all kinds of different things that you could do with that. It's got a really nice chew to it, a little bit of crunchiness from the coconut, really nice butteriness that comes in from the ghee. It's super tasty. It would make a great dessert even. You could serve this if you had a little party going on, and it makes a wonderful little snack. It's nice and sweet, which our kids like, but it's also full of great nutrition. It's full of stuff that's good for their gut. It's full of stuff that's going to help balance the blood sugar, and the stuff that we know is going to support their health and help us in our journey to improving their health. So if you like this video, make sure that you give it a little like below. If you have questions for me about it, certainly make sure that you post them below. Comments, of course, are always welcome. You can download a copy of this recipe in the Kids Health Revolution private Facebook page. So if you're not already over in the private group, the community, we have a wonderful group of parents over there. Pop on over, Kids Health Revolution private community, request to join, make sure you answer the questions or we won't be able to approve you. And then you will get a copy right there in the files section that you can download of each week's recipe. And there's probably 12 recipes already in the files section. Alternatively, if that sounds like too much work and you'd just like to get these recipes straight into your inbox every week, you can certainly do that too. So you just go to kidshealthrevolution.com, click on the community page, pop in your email address, and then I will send you a copy of the recipes from each week right to your inbox. You don't have to do anything. It's right there for you to keep in your files. There's also some really good stuff in there, like 20 fabulous freezer recipes. There's a quiz about leaky gut, a green light, red light foods guide, all kinds of good stuff that you'll probably find quite helpful to you in this journey, especially if you're just starting out to improve your kids' health. Last thing is, if you happen to be in the Calgary area and you have a kiddo that has asthma, eczemas, or allergies, I am doing a workshop dedicated to how to use food, functional nutrition approach to helping our kids with those particular conditions. So we will be talking about histamine, we'll be talking about the gut, we'll be getting into all kinds of great details, and of course sampling some yummy recipes. So that's on Saturday, this Saturday the 9th at 10:30 a.m. and you can get tickets for it at thelightseller.ca. So if you're in Calgary and you'd like to learn a little bit more, I hope to see you there. If not, stay tuned next week for another School Snack Series recipe, and I will talk to you soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.